As today's conventional ethanol plants reach near maximum yields from starch, producers await a future where low-cost technologies allow them to unlock the sugars in corn fiber to produce cellulosic ethanol from the feedstock they already have. With D3MAX, that future will soon be here. Producers are demanding technologies that are easily added and suitable for their plant. D3MAX delivers that cutting-edge technology by converting corn fiber and residual starch in distillers' grains to cellulosic ethanol. This is a 1.3 billion gallon per year market, and with D3MAX, ethanol producers can maximize their yield and profits from the whole kernel. It works because the D3MAX process employs patented, state-of-the-art technology to convert both 5 and 6 carbon sugars in wet cake to cellulosic ethanol. Starch cellulose, xylose, and arabinose are all converted to cellulosic ethanol with higher yields, lower energy consumption, and lower capital cost per gallon than other cellulosic ethanol producers. D3MAX also allows you to increase your corn grind by 20% or more and increase corn oil recovery by a ½ pound per bushel. Let's take a closer look and highlight some of the benefits of the D3MAX technology and the competitive advantages that can significantly outperform other technologies currently in the market. As mentioned, D3MAX is technology for dry mills. No major modifications to your dry mill ethanol plant are required. The D3MAX process can be installed without significant downtime or interruption of ethanol production. D3MAX creates an 8 to 10% increase in ethanol production with no increase in corn grind by converting corn fiber in wet cake, the cellulose, hemicellulose, and residual starch are converted into cellulosic ethanol. Although the technology does not actually recover the corn oil, D3MAX makes more corn oil available in the syrup, which then can be recovered. We estimate the increase in corn oil to be a ½ pound per bushel. And with D3MAX, protein in the corn fiber feed is increased from 30% to 45% or more, depending on the composition of your wet cake. You also save on the usage of natural gas. Natural gas for drying the D3MAX high-protein co-product is reduced by 20% due to the lower amount of residual animal feed following the process. If your production is limited by dryer capacity, D3MAX will free up 20% of that capacity so that you can increase corn grind. When integrated with White Fox ethanol recovery technology, the D3MAX plant can produce 8% more ethanol with no change in the ethanol plant's overall energy use, making an ethanol plant with the D3MAX process one of the most energy efficient in the world. The EPA also already approved a pathway for the conversion of corn fiber to cellulosic ethanol, so you won't need pathway approval to qualify for the production of cellulosic ethanol and D3 RINs. The D3 RINs produced by the D3MAX process are the most valuable RINs available today. With D3MAX, you'll maximize your production of D3 RINs from corn fiber and residual starch in the wet cake. The D3MAX process consists of 5 primary process steps. The upper portion of the diagram is a dry mill. You can see once the whole stillage comes out of the distillation system, it goes through a decanter and the wet cake is then conveyed to the start of the D3MAX process. Starting with the day tank, sulfuric acid is mixed with the wet cake, which then flows through the pretreatment reactor. The material is heated and held for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then it is flashed into a flash tank. From there, it is pumped into the combination hydrolysis and fermentation tanks. When the material first enters the hydrolysis fermentation tanks, we add the enzymes where the enzymatic hydrolysis takes place. After the appropriate amount of time at the hydrolysis temperature, we lower the temperature and then pitch the yeast in the same tank and fermentation takes place. The product of fermentation is beer, which is then pumped to the beer well. As an option, the distillation system can be replaced with a single beer column and the beer overhead, routed to a White Fox ethanol recovery system where 200 proof alcohol is produced. The beer column bottoms from the D3MAX plant goes through a decanter, which gives you a thin stillage stream and high protein wet cake stream. The wet cake becomes the new high-protein animal feed co-product for the plant. To learn more about the D3MAX process or the rates on return, visit www.d3maxllc.com or contact us at 701-738-4924.